Good evening. My name is Eamonn, and I would love to have been with you this evening and have the opportunity to share my experience and journey with you live. Fortunately for me and my wife, we are on a different journey, enjoying the fourth year running the wonders of Venice, a city that we absolutely love. Yes, it is possible to visit 70% of the city with a lot of planning and using a lot of guidebooks. The journey of a different kind started when I was born, but then did not come to light until I was in my late 40s, when on occasions I would have a fall. This I used to put down to having osteoarthritis in both knees, making them weak. It was not until early in 2011 that I was finding, when using a keyboard for work and recreational purposes, I found that I was getting a stiffness and aching in the joints and muscles in my right hand. After visiting my GP on a couple of occasions, they thought it was carpal tunnel. So I was referred on to the Tollgate Clinic in Colchester for assessment. It was while I was there that my world was about to change. 19th of December 2011. Dr. Lowell Spooner, who was doing the assessment, carried out the usual tests and then, with a puzzled look on her face, asked me to take my shirt off. She was then starting to feel my arms. Why is it that I or my wife had not realized how thin they had become? It was then a case of "take your clothes off," to which I replied jokingly, "I only came here for my wrist." She observed my body and asked me to walk, raise my arms, and carried out various other exercises. Immediately, she called in a colleague of hers to give a second opinion. After much discussion in terms that I did not understand, I was told that there was a possibility that I had motor neuron disease and that I would require an urgent referral to Colchester General Hospital. You can imagine. But I took it on the chin and thought of Stephen Hawking. Went home and did some research. After all, I do work for Essex Libraries. In early February 2012, and after the intervention of a customer who was a doctor, I got my urgent referral. In fact, it was on the following day. I sat down with the neurologist, who asked various questions. At first, my wife and I were of the opinion that he was not listening. How wrong we were! He made jocular remarks to which the poor nurse that was in with us cringed. After various movements of my arms, legs, facial muscles, and tongue, it was time for his diagnosis, which went something like, "Well, in 40 years of being a neurologist, I am pleased to inform you that it is not motor neuron disease, but yours is the first case of Kennedy's disease that I have come across. It is a form of motor neuron disease." It was time for the second opinion from his colleague, who agreed. No explanation of what it was. After having a series of EMG tests, I had my referral to a consultant at Bart's in London, who carried out a similar range of muscle tests, and looking at the results from the tests, it was confirmed. The final thing making it concrete was a DNA test. Over the past 4 years, I have received regular annual checkups at the Royal London, but it has been nearly 2 years since my last at Colchester, partly through breaking my ankle around the time of the last one. The appointment I was due to attend at the end of May, just a couple of weeks ago, was moved to the beginning of November, despite saying that I would always be happy to take a cancellation. Little is known about Kennedy's disease, but by accessing the Motor Neurone Disease Association website, this answered many of the questions that were going through my mind and the mind of my wife at the time. I was able to find some excellent information written by people that know and, more importantly, care. Working with the Association on fundraising and awareness, plus attending their regional conference last July, the one thing I realised is, and so has my wife, that they are a small charity, but because of this, they are more like a family. If you need them, someone is there, and the information that is available is absolutely brilliant. At first, after my diagnosis, as with many, you feel, well, just get on with it. But for anyone who has motor neurone, please contact the MNDA if you require any help, any information, etc. It will be the best thing you can do. Thank you for allowing me to take the time and tell you about my journey. I know that there will be many twists and turns, plus some long flat stretches on the way, and the inevitable challenges, but I am determined to continue on that journey with the support of my wife. It is sometimes as hard for her as it is for me. I know that I have not got the opportunity to answer any of your questions, but Laura has my email address, so please, if you would like to answer any question, please see Laura, and she would be only too pleased to contact me via my email. Thank you once again, and enjoy the rest of the evening. Good night.